Hey class, just wanted to go over real quick, skim through some of the directions, actually more so some of the questions that are being asked, uh, the common questions being asked about this assignment in the private forum. Um, just make sure you're communicating in your forum. Do not use, avoid using other outlets to show proof of communication. If you decide to use text messaging, that's okay, but I cannot use it as proof of communication, only in the group forum. So make sure you're communicating in the group forum. If you decide to use text messaging on the side, it's up to you. But if there's a long string of conversations text message wise and nothing really much in an actual group forum, I use the group forum only. So you can tell me all day that you've been texting each other or emailing each other. That doesn't do anything for me as far as proof of information being passed around or communication. You're supposed to submit and have your conversations only in the group forum. But if you want to use text to nudge somebody and say, "Hey, we're going to group forum, need you now," that's fine. But I still can't use that notification as proof. You have to be in the group forum saying, "Hey, we're having a conversation," or "I need to see the conversation in the group forum." Okay. And again, you get to there by mine says manage groups. You'll have, I don't know what it is. I don't have student view, but you should be able to click on something up here that takes you to your group forum. Okay. I'm gonna give you some examples of what flyer or pamphlet, like where you could use. Get creative. Um, you do not have to submit the worksheet. You just submit the pamphlet or flyer. Okay. Sometimes groups submit everything. That's okay if that happens. I'm just going to more concentrate on the pamphlet and flyer, but I do look at the worksheets. So if you do submit them in the Dropbox, that's good. That's good. That helps me out. If not, I should be able to see it in your group forum. If I don't see the worksheets in group forum, as long as I see the communication and discussion of your media portrayal that you are using, that's quite all right. Make sure you know that these uh, tutorials do not replace your reading of the directions. So read through these 2 to 3 scholarly sources. That's only the GCU library class, not websites. Scholarly sources are peer-reviewed research articles from the GCU library. Okay, I cannot stress that enough. The university spends thousands of dollars to gain access to articles you cannot find on Google, like a Google search. So if someone told you go to this place and you can find uh, 20 sources, or you can go to this place and find 5,000 sources, I'm going with the 5,000 sources to go find information in that area because there's a lot to choose from. And you know it's going to be peer reviewed because you can click on peer reviewed. Make sure they're research articles and not newspapers, not magazines or anything like that. Okay. Um, and it's 2 to 3 total. Um, so that means when you complete the pamphlet, it doesn't have to be 2 to 3 sources per person. It's just the whole, you know, actual project itself. Let me open up this worksheet. Now, this worksheet you're going to fill out, each of you fill out, and again, it helps you guide the CLC discussion. You know, you want to share what you're watching. If you want to submit this to your group, that's fine, but there should still be a discussion. Okay, so this doesn't take away from the discussion. All right, if you don't submit this, that's okay. I just want to see a discussion. Again, you can submit this in the group forum. You don't have to submit it in the Dropbox. If you decide to submit it in the Dropbox or group forum, that's fine, but there still needs to be a discussion. This helps guide the discussion. Okay. Um, you can watch an episode, a couple episodes, like it asks you to, about somebody who is the main characters in the adolescent stage. So the main character doesn't have to be like 20 people who are adolescents. It's the main character's adolescent. So make sure if that's what you're following, great. If not, then you may need to backtrack that a bit. Okay. So let me show. I'm going to put this link in in this thread below. But here is it's one I've used in other classes. It's templates. You can come here, and this helps you for future stuff too. You know, brochures is basically one of the ones that I actually tell students you can use if you want to use a brochure type, um, which is fine with me. But let's go ahead and take a look at some of these categories. So in this, it doesn't show anything as far as like pamphlets or flyers, but let's go ahead and look at like brochures would be kind of like a pamphlet. Okay, so if you decide to use this route, you can use one of these. Use Word. Okay, but if you notice, like when I open this up, notice how it's one page. Obviously, this is an example of something you could do, but in the pamphlet, there should be more writing, explanation of things. But yeah, this is something that you could use as examples of what it looks like. Um, and then if you also want to use newsletters, would be a good example of flyers, kind of look like flyers. So you got something like this, you know, in Word. You could use these if you want. That's fine with me. This is what usually I see students using anyway, something like this. You just download it and it pops up. Now you got to be careful to save it also as a Word document too, because sometimes they'll open up as a dot .dot. So you want to make sure you could use it if your computer will let you use it. I would say you could just fill in these blank things here. You know, I know this is like 3 or 4 pages here where the directions actually, where the directions actually say, let's see, one-page flyer or pamphlet for parents. Okay, so you're just giving the information out. So if you pull something up and it shows multiple pages, it could be one page. Okay, so you get creative and you make sure that all 3 of these are there and that there's sources on those pamphlets. So I'll submit all this to you, and if you have any questions, please reply. Okay, thanks.